Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Whiplash TV here on the Wrestling Channel. I'm your host Eamon Darcy and we're coming to you from Trabolgan in County Cork, and we have a jam-packed hour in store. In our opening matchup, the Drew Galloway, along with the manager of champions Charles Boddington, will be taking on Steve Mulligan in a one-on-one match. This is an opportunity for young Steve Mulligan to get his own back against the Drew Galloway for the actions of Galloway a few weeks ago here on Whiplash TV when he severely injured Madman Manson. And in our main event tag team matchup, the Heretic Society, Red Vinny and Forbes Kelly will be going up against the unlikely duo of Bam Catraz and the Ballymun Bruiser. All that and more this week in store here on Irish Whip Wrestling, Whiplash TV.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this first contest is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Making his way to the ring first, from Glasgow in Scotland, accompanied to the ring by the Charles Boddington, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Drew Galloway.
Welcome everybody to Whiplash TV, coming to you from Trabolgan Holiday Centre in County Cork, and there we see the Drew Galloway and his conniving manager Charles Boddington. These two men, two of the most arrogant and conceited individuals that you'll ever see compete in a wrestling ring. Originally from Scotland, they've been competing in BCW for the past number of years. Galloway himself has been wrestling since the age of 15 at the FWA Training Academy, where he was trained by Mark Sloan. And in recent weeks here in Irish Whip Wrestling, he's had his problems with the insane one, Madman Manson. And so tonight, it's going to be Drew Galloway going up against the tag team partner of Madman Manson, Steve Mulligan. This should be a fantastic match, a battle of two big men. You talk about arrogance and conceitedness. Two men who think they're absolutely above everybody else. You gotta be talking about Charles Boddington and Drew Galloway. Nice reaction here for Charles. And Drew Galloway, actually. Some people actually think that Charles Boddington
And
looks
his
like...
opponent, from Blanchardstown in Dublin, weighing in at 185 pounds, Steve Mulligan!
Here comes Steve Mulligan. I was about to say some people think that Charles Boddington looks a little bit like Michael Stipe from R.E.M., but I don't know. I think that's quite a compliment. Very talented manager is Charles Boddington, and right now here comes Steve Mulligan, the new tag team partner of Madman Manson. What a match this is going to be. Steve Mulligan giving up a lot of experience against Drew Galloway. Nonetheless, he's a feisty newcomer here to Irish Whip Wrestling. A very talented young competitor with an awful lot of potential is Steve Mulligan. And he's got his fans here in Trabolgan.
Back to your seat. Come on, get your top back on and sit down.
And the bell sounds and we're ready for action. As Charles Boddington exits the ring. You got to keep your eye on Mr. Boddington. He's gonna, I've got to believe, get his nose stuck into this match before too long. Steve Mulligan. Better be wary of not only the Drew Galloway but also Charles Boddington. And right away, these two men are trying to play mind games. What's going on here? Oh, give me a break. Charles Boddington being assisted from the ring and then consoled on the outside by his protege, the Drew Galloway. And this crowd coming alive for Steve Mulligan here in Trabolgan. I think these fans have got it right.
Come on, baby, come on, baby, come
It's Ireland versus Scotland in this one-on-one match. Collar and elbow tie-off into the arm drag takeover by Drew Galloway. Very nicely done. This young man, Drew Galloway, despite his arrogance, is a very talented in-ring competitor. As I said, trained at the FWA Academy. Nice hip toss. Began wrestling when he was just 15 years of age. And with tactics like that, he's not going to win any fans or friends here in Cork. Another collar and elbow tie-up. Into the scoop slam this time by Galloway. Steve Mulligan feeling the effects of that. I think Mulligan's going to come out on the short end of the stick. If this is a straight wrestling match, he's going to have to try to outwit the bigger Drew Galloway and quicken the pace in this match. And Charles Boddington on the outside trying to get the crowd behind him. That's not going to happen anytime too quickly. Nice takedown there by Steve Mulligan. Another hip toss. Nicely done. Mulligan on fire. Scoop body slam showing tremendous power. Picking up the big 6'2" the Drew Galloway. And now it's Galloway who's being consoled on the outside by Mr. Boddington. And a consultation going on there on the outside. All sorts. Oh, give me a break. These guys are too much.
6, 7.
I think Galloway's a little bit too concerned about his good looks. He needs to be concerned about Steve Mulligan in the ring. Mulligan's a dangerous competitor in there. You don't want to give him too much time to come up with any kind of effective strategy against you. Mulligan getting this crowd behind him here in Cork in the Trabolgan Holiday Centre. And now big Drew Galloway wants to test their strength here against Steve Mulligan. Oh, come on. Mulligan being toyed with here. Both men now lock up in the Greco-Roman knuckle lock position. And I'd have to say that no doubt the Drew Galloway is going to have the advantage. But look at Steve Mulligan fighting back up to his feet. Flips around and now takes Galloway down to the canvas. Nicely done by young Steve Mulligan. Mulligan goes all the way up and over. Great power showed there by Galloway. Arm drag takedown. Nicely done into the arm bar by Steve Mulligan. As I said at the top of this match, Mulligan is in there to avenge his good friend Madman Manson. He's now tag team partner Madman Manson. Nice counter there by Mulligan a moment ago, holding on to the arm bar as Galloway was attempting to counter out with a body slam. Galloway now back to his feet. Mulligan still in control with this wrist lock, working on the left arm and shoulder of his more powerful opponent. A nice monkey flip counter by Galloway. Nonetheless, Mulligan again holds on, showing great pugnaciousness, maintaining control with that wrist lock. The referee right there to check for the submission. A knee to the midsection, doubles over. Steve Mulligan, there's the Irish whip to the near side, but Galloway misses the charge in the corner and is taken right back over with the arm drag takedown. Steve Mulligan maintaining control. I have to say I'm very impressed with the technical expertise shown here by Steve Mulligan in the early going of this matchup. Out wrestling his much larger opponent. And Galloway a moment ago looking for help from his manager, Charles Boddington, but to no avail. And I think that may have momentarily distracted Mulligan, because now it's the Drew Galloway who's in control with the wrist lock. Knee to the midsection, doubles over Mulligan. Irish whip to the near side. Mulligan holds on wisely and tosses Galloway over the top, but Galloway lands on the apron and takes a right hand. Oh, but a rake in the face there by Galloway. Look at that, a neck breaker right off the ropes. What a very resourceful and innovative way to execute a neck breaker. And Mulligan is in trouble. Galloway and Boddington on the outside, very happy. Very happy with their tactics so far in this matchup. Steve Mulligan is in trouble. A stomp right to the back of the head And Drew Galloway, like a good ring technician, going right after the head and neck now of Steve Mulligan. A knee drop right into the neck. As Gorilla Monsoon would say, the external occipital protuberance. And Mulligan is feeling it, and there's the head scissors. Adding even more pain to the injured neck of Steve Mulligan. When you've got legs the size of Drew Galloway, a basic hold like a head scissors is going to take so much more out of you. The referee checking for the submission. But Mulligan fights out nicely. Beautiful counter into the side headlock. Galloway now back to his feet, trying to fight out of this headlock. Off the ropes from the center. Roll up there by Mulligan. Two count only. And a drop kick though, nicely done by the Drew Galloway out of nowhere. Give him credit, tremendous athletic ability. Mulligan looked like he was in control. As this crowd gets into the action, Mulligan thought he was in control, but it was not to be. Galloway came back with that beautiful drop kick. There's the Irish whip and a takedown. A Cobra clutch takedown by the Drew Galloway. And Galloway continuing to taunt the crowd here in Cork. And look at that. Cover, the leg is hooked. The shoulders are too exposed there, and a 2 count is all that Galloway can get. And Charles Boddington on the outside, not too happy with the referee's count. Head vice now applied by the Drew Galloway as he lifts the knees right into the face of Steve Mulligan, right between the eyes. Off the ropes, beautiful reverse neck breaker. And a float over into the lateral press, the leg is hooked. 2.5 count only. And both Boddington and Galloway complaining about that slow count. Mulligan now draped over the center of the rope, and look at Boddington on the outside, choking Mulligan with the pressure of that second rope. Come on, ref, up! Boddington with a cheap shot right between the eyes of Steve Mulligan. And now Galloway with the cover, the leg is hooked. 2.5 count only once again. Mulligan, give him credit, fighting the odds here. Got the right shoulder up at about 2 3/4. Mulligan fighting an uphill battle, and we knew it was going to be this way as he goes over the top rope to the floor. Crashing down on the outside here in Trabolgan. And now Mulligan's got to contend with not only Boddington, but Galloway as well. And look at Boddington now holding Mulligan. Come on, ref! A vicious chop and retaliation by Mulligan. Galloway felt that one, and now Boddington has Mulligan again. Oh man, another shot. And it's breaking down here on the outside, both men going tooth and nail. Oh, come on, ref, do something about this. And Boddington just nailed his own man. And a double knocker on the outside of the ring. Steve Mulligan is on fire. Galloway now thrown back into the ring. And Mulligan's got this crowd behind him. Suplex. Young Steve Mulligan could be on his way to pulling off a major upset here. Clothesline, and down he goes. Mulligan's on a roll. Drew Galloway is in trouble. There's the Irish whip once again. Up goes Galloway and down in the spine buster slam. The cover 2. No, 2 3/4 that time. What a rally by Steve Mulligan. I'm not sure if the Drew Galloway or Charles Boddington expected this out of the young man. Off the ropes he comes. The clothesline is ducked and a beautiful cartwheel kick right between the eyes. What athleticism displayed by the Drew Galloway. And Mulligan is down and out on the canvas. The referee laying the 10 count on both men as Charles Boddington over in the corner tries to revive. The Drew Galloway back to his feet. Mulligan is still down. Mulligan better mount an offensive if he wants to be victorious here. A series of counters, boots to the midsection. And here comes the ego trip. The ego trip nicely executed by the Drew Galloway, ramming the back of the head of Steve Mulligan into the canvas. A scoop up and a slam. And this could be it. Drew Galloway going up to that second turnbuckle on the inside. There's the leg drop, one of his panda maneuvers. And he connected, but he also felt the effects of it himself. There's a cover too. And Mulligan somehow gets his foot underneath that bottom rope. The leg is hooked this time too. And again Mulligan kicks out, showing tremendous intestinal fortitude. And once again, Mulligan not too happy, Boddington and Galloway not too happy with the count, but this time it's Mulligan on target with that spear right to the gut, and this could be it. The referee laying the count as this crowd comes alive. What a match we've seen here this week on Whiplash TV. Both Galloway and Mulligan giving it their all. Referee up to a count of 5. Both men trying to get back to their feet. What a battle this has been. Mulligan with a forearm shot. And another one. Galloway is staggered. Irish whip. Another forearm shot right between the eyes. Takes down the Drew Galloway. What an impressive performance this has been by young Steve Mulligan. The whip in is reversed this time. Beautiful Arn Anderson-like spine buster. Excellently executed. Look at Boddington up on the ring apron. Charles Boddington up on the ring apron behind the referee's back, trying to loosen that top turnbuckle bag. Come on, ref, do something about this. Come on, ref, get him off the apron. Galloway on the inside. Trying to set up Mulligan. Look out! Come on, ref. Boddington right there in the ring. And there's Madman Manson. Manson coming into the ring. Trying to save his tag team partner, scaring the life out of Charles Boddington. We've got a bell here. What's the official decision? Manson coming to the aid of Steve Mulligan. Let's get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has disqualified both Drew Galloway and Steve Mulligan for outside interference. This match is a double disqualification.
Oh, give me a break. You can't be serious. Steve Mulligan is disqualified? I can't believe this. A questionable call there by the referee. Manson coming to the aid of his tag team partner Steve Mulligan. Nonetheless, what a physical match it was. Steve Mulligan giving it his all against Drew Galloway. And he also had to contend with that devious manager Charles Boddington. Nonetheless, a very impressive outing for Steve Mulligan here on Whiplash TV. And we're going to see a lot more of Madman Manson and Mulligan in the weeks to come, right here on Whiplash TV on the Wrestling Channel.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's special report. I'm your host Eamon Darcy here at the news desk, and what a blockbuster announcement I have for you this week. We have a brand new #1 contender to the IWW International Heavyweight Championship, SOS Seamus O'Shaughnessy. Last week here on the program, fans, as you saw, Vic Viper retained his #1 contendership in a triple threat match against the Flawless One Jay Phoenix and NWA star Virgil Devitt. But the following night at IWW Gym Wars, Vic Viper was challenged by SOS Seamus O'Shaughnessy and the Heretic Red Vinny in another triple threat match, once again with the #1 contendership on the line. Right now, let's go back and take a look at some of the highlights from that #1 contenders match from Gym Wars.
Here's your winner and new #1 contender to the Irish Whip Wrestling International Heavyweight Championship, SOS Seamus O'Shaughnessy. What'd you say? Yeah, okay. Don't forget one thing. You never pinned me.
What an intense matchup that was, fans. SOS eventually coming out on top, becoming the new #1 contender to the IWW Championship. But just after the match, when SOS was giving his thoughts to Irish Whip Wrestling cameras, he was interrupted by the former #1 contender, Vic Viper. Take a look.
As you just seen here at Gym War, SOS Seamus O'Shaughnessy has just beaten Red Vinny and Vic Viper to become the #1 contender for the IWW International Heavyweight title.
Whoa. You never beat me. What the hell do you mean, coming out here? I beat Vic Viper. No, you didn't. You pinned Red Vinny, not me.
You're interrupting my promo, man.
I don't care.
Listen, end of the day, you put that title shot on the line. I pinned Red Vinny 1, 2, 3. That is not my problem. That is your problem. You should have thought about that before you gave the two of us a shot. But I'll tell you what I'll do. When I go over to the UK and I beat D'Lo Brown for the IWW title, I'll consider giving you a shot. How do you think about that?
I think I deserve the shot anyway.
You think you deserve it?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people in here who deserve it. I think a lot of people in Irish Whip deserve it. I think you'd be lucky to get a shot again. But I'll tell you what, I'm a fair man, and since I did beat Red Vinny and I didn't beat you, I think, you know what, I'll give you the first shot. What do you think? Is that fair enough?
See you then.
It's your problem, man.
Well, obviously, fans, Vic Viper does have a legitimate claim to that championship match somewhere down the road. But right now, SOS is gearing up to face D'Lo Brown, the current heavyweight champion, and the Assassin in a triple threat match in England. What a match it's going to be for the IWW Championship, and we're going to have all the highlights in the upcoming weeks here on Whiplash TV. No doubt the Irish Whip Wrestling International Heavyweight Championship is the most coveted prize in all of Irish wrestling, and it's rapidly becoming the most coveted prize in European wrestling, with stars from England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales and indeed America vying for a shot at the Irish Whip Wrestling Championship. It's going to be very interesting to see how this whole situation develops in the upcoming weeks right here on Whiplash TV. Moving on now to talk about this week's main event. We've got a tag team attraction for you as the unlikely team of the Ballymun Bruiser and Bam Catraz takes on the Heretic Society, the Heretic Red Vinny and Forbes Kelly. This is going to be a very interesting one, fans, because the Ballymun Bruiser and Bam Catraz certainly are not what you'd call best friends. But that match is coming up very soon here on Whiplash TV, so stay tuned for all the action. Until next week, fans, this has been the Special Report. I'm Eamon Darcy, and I'll be back next week with all the latest news here in Irish Whip Wrestling, right here on Whiplash TV.
This next contest is scheduled for one fall and is a tag team match. Making their way to the ring first, weighing in at a total combined weight of 312 pounds, the Heretic Red Vinny, Forbes Kelly, the Heretic Society.
We're ready for our main event this week here on Whiplash TV. The Heretic Society, the Heretic Red Vinny and Forbes Kelly getting ready to take on Bam Catraz and his unlikely tag team partner, the Ballymun Bruiser. This is going to be a very interesting match, to say the least. Red Vinny and Forbes Kelly have been a regular tag team here in Irish Whip Wrestling for the past several weeks, and a very impressive young team they are indeed. Red Vinny has taken young Forbes Kelly under his wing and shown him the ways to the dark side, so to speak. Nonetheless, they are two very talented competitors inside the ring. Two of the best here in Irish Whip Wrestling. When you talk about bad attitudes, if you look up bad attitudes, you'll see a picture of these two guys in the dictionary.
And their opponents, from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at a total combined weight of 368 pounds, Bam Catraz and the Ballymun Bruiser.
Bam Catraz and the Ballymun Bruiser coming to ringside. You talk about an unlikely duo. And you can see the Bruiser doesn't want any part of Bam Catraz. I'm not too sure how this whole match is going to work out. If I was Bam Catraz, I think I'd be keeping one eye on the Heretic and Forbes Kelly, and one eye on my tag team partner, the Ballymun Bruiser. The Bruiser is a very dangerous and devious individual. Bam Catraz is a young, fun-loving guy. But the Bruiser is one dangerous individual. And already you can see a bit of dissension among the ranks between the Bruiser and Bam Catraz, having an argument outside the ring there. And the Bruiser doesn't look happy at all. This should be an interesting match nonetheless. And look at Bam Catraz now wearing the hat of the Ballymun Bruiser. The Bruiser not too happy at all.
Give me back where you are, I'll kick your face. Hey! I'll kick your head. Take it seriously here. Not shake. That's okay.
The Heretic eager to get the action underway here. I still can't get over this pairing of Bam Catraz and the Ballymun Bruiser.
Punch him in the face!
A left-handed handshake, oh, and a slap across the face by the Heretic. That's going to stop that.
Punch him in the face. Do not let that happen again. You are in the future. Do not let that happen again. Punch him in the face.
Collar elbow tie up now by the Heretic Red Vinny and Bam Catraz. Wrist lock now applied by young Bam Catraz, who recently here on Whiplash TV until a few weeks ago was tag team partners with George McFly. They made up the Party Animals, but they are no more. Thanks to the ladies' hero David Zero and Vic Viper. So now Bam Catraz, for the past several days, has been looking for a tag team partner, and he's come up with the Ballymun Bruiser. I honestly think he could have picked a better partner, but nonetheless, we're going to see how it all unfolds here. Catraz and the Heretic now going hold for hold in the center of the ring. Wrist lock applied by Bam Catraz, rolled through there by the Heretic, and a hip hop, nicely done. Red Vinny now counters with a wrist lock of his own, and despite his antics in the ring, the Heretic is perhaps the greatest athlete we have here in Irish Whip Wrestling. A very bright future for this young man, the Heretic Red Vinny. Bam Catraz now using the assistance of the ropes to counter that wrist lock. In control now with the hammerlock against the Heretic. Vinny now trying to counter that standing side headlock. Catraz maintaining control. Grinding it out against the Heretic. What a night of action it's been here on Whiplash TV. That match between Drew Galloway and Steve Mulligan, which ended in a double disqualification. That was absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure we haven't seen the last of those two competitors in the ring. The Heretic now trying to build some momentum. Nice arm drag takeover by Bam Catraz into the armbar. Bam Catraz is one of those young guys that can do it all in the ring. Very technically gifted athlete, as well as a tremendous aerialist as well. A boot to the open ribcage there of the Heretic, and Bam Catraz looking for a tag, and the Bruiser not looking to tag in, but it finally does. What is the Ballymun Bruiser's agenda in this match? That's the big question. Can this man be trusted? We're going to find out. Bam Catraz getting this crowd here in Cork behind the Ballymun Bruiser. I'm not too sure if he actually even wants the help or support of the fans. The Bruiser he's the type of guy who he's a loner here in Irish Whip Wrestling. He doesn't care for absolutely anybody. He couldn't care if the fans cheered for him or not. He is a bad man, make no mistake about it. I just hope that Bam Catraz realizes that. Forbes Kelly and the Ballymun Bruiser now locking up into a modified Cole Nelson, and now a snapmare takeover. And a great reaction from the crowd here in Cork. The Bruiser certainly not used to being cheered by these fans. Tag is made by Bam Catraz. Over the top he comes with a forearm shot to the back. And now a standing side headlock on Forbes Kelly. So far, Bam Catraz and the Ballymun Bruiser have shown a little bit of tag team continuity. Forbes Kelly showing you his tremendous athletic ability, springing off those ropes into a wrist lock of his own. Hammering away now on the rib cage, and Bam Catraz fires back with shots to the leg as this crowd comes alive for the former Party Animal. And Bam just let Forbes Kelly tag out there to the Heretic Red Vinny. I'm not too sure how wise a decision that was. Nonetheless, Vinny now coming into the ring. And he wants the Bruiser in the ring.
Red, you want me?
And the Ballymun Bruiser more than happy to oblige.
You sure you want me?
As they come nose to nose in the center of the ring.
We'll go for you, Louis. Go ahead.
Oh, wait a minute, the Bruiser just tagged out. Complaining of, give me a break, this man complaining that he's got an arm injury? The Heretic didn't even touch him, for God's sake. And now Bam Catraz being attacked from behind by the Heretic Red Vinny. Single leg takedown by Catraz, hammering away now on the left leg of the Heretic. Forearm shots, and now into the standing side headlock by the young man. And as we just saw, I don't believe the Ballymun Bruiser can be trusted at all. The Heretic using the tights. Come on, ref. Tag is made now. Forbes Kelly in there with a front face lock on Bam Catraz. Catraz trying to counter and does. Sunset flip attempt, he gets him over. But Forbes gets into the ropes. Forbes Kelly now with the momentum. There's the Irish whip. The clothesline is stuck. Drop kick to the back of the head. Nicely executed. Forearm shot to the face. There's another whip in. Nice roll through by Forbes, but he's scooped up and counters with a beautiful flying head scissors. Bam Catraz disoriented here. Backed into the corner. There's the Irish whip. Forbes charges in. Beautiful sunset flip counter by Bam Catraz. And into the Angel's wings, and that could be a 2.5 count only. Bam Catraz with an ear fall on Forbes Kelly, and now Bam looking to tag out again, and the Bruiser's not even looking at him. This is what I was afraid of. The Bruiser doesn't care about this match. He doesn't care about Bam Catraz. The Ballymun Bruiser leaving Bam Catraz high and dry here. This is disgusting. A knee to the face and then a neck breaker by Forbes Kelly. This could be it. And Bam Catraz somehow kicked out. Give the young man credit, but now Forbes Kelly blatantly choking Bam Catraz and now stomping away. All over the torso of the young man. Now drops the leg. Tag is made to the Heretic, Red Vinny. That's one of several tags that the Heretic Society have made, and a beautiful double team offensive maneuver. Vinny with the leaping elbow over the top rope, and Forbes Kelly with an elbow shot of his own. And now it's Bam Catraz who's in the wrong part of town, in the corner of the Heretic Society. And the Bruiser, if you can see him on the far side of the ring, doesn't even care what's going on as the Heretic just whips the life right out of young Bam Catraz. Beautiful Falcon Arrow, nicely executed by the Heretic as he steps out to the apron. Springboard Swanton, nicely done. There's the Lion Salt, he calls that the Hayabusa special, but a 2.5 count is all that he can get. The Heretic heavily influenced by Japanese superstar Hayabusa as he tags out to Forbes Kelly. And the Heretic Society have completely cut the ring off on Bam Catraz, not allowing him to even get anywhere near his partner, the Ballymun Bruiser. But even if Bam Catraz could tag out, the Bruiser wouldn't even tag in, I don't believe. And now it's Forbes Kelly off the ropes, taking down Bam Catraz with a spear. The leg is hooked. 2 3/4. Give Bam Catraz credit, what a fight he's putting on here against the Heretic Society in basically what has been a handicap match so far. The Bruiser spent all of 2 minutes in the ring. Beautiful modified backbreaker by Forbes Kelly. Look at that arrogant cover. Give me a break. Bam Catraz has too much pride. He's not going to be put away that easily. But the Heretic and Forbes Kelly are basically toying with this young man now. He's got to be running on E. His tank has got to be almost empty as the Heretic steps in once again. A forearm shot to the face there a second ago. Bam Catraz being choked with the pressure of that top rope. There's the Irish whip to the far side. Another sunset flip by Bam Catraz. This could do it, but no. The Heretic still too fresh. And a beautiful enziguri there by the Heretic as he maintains control. Beautiful elbow drop. Another near fall there by Red Vinny. Bam Catraz in serious trouble. The Bruiser not even making any kind of attempt to help out his tag team partner in any way. Forbes Kelly back in there now. Oh man, what a spiking DDT The head of Bam Catraz driven into the canvas. 2 3/4 only. I can't believe it. Another cover, and again another near fall by Forbes Kelly, but Bam Catraz is going to be ripe for the pickings. Sunset flip, excuse me, head scissor takeover there by Forbes Kelly. Completely disorienting Bam Catraz. A second one. And this has got to be it, Forbes Kelly. Is he going to go for a trifecta? This could be a mistake. Up he goes. And Catraz counters with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Forbes Kelly going to the well once too often, and now this crowd in Trafalgar trying to get behind Bam Catraz. He desperately needs to tag out. Bam Catraz inching his way over to the corner. Tag is made to the Heretic. And a tag is made to the Bruiser. I can't believe it. Both men come face to face in the center of the ring. It's the Heretic and the Ballymun Bruiser. This crowd chanting for the Bruiser. What's he going to do? Oh, come on. I can't believe this. The Bruiser tags out immediately to Bam Catraz, who's literally out on his feet. Catraz brought back into the ring. And the Bruiser looks like he's leaving. The Ballymun Bruiser leaving ringside. Leaving Bam Catraz high and dry here. Bam Catraz trying to fight back against both men. What a fight being put on here by Catraz. Trying to take out both the Heretic, Red Vinny, and Forbes Kelly. And he's doing pretty good right now. Catraz trying to build the momentum. There's the complete shot. The head of Forbes Kelly driven right down into the canvas. Another Heretic. Come on, ref, get control in there. Suplex by the Heretic, Red Vinny. We still have 2 members of the Heretic Society in the ring. The referee obviously doesn't know who's legal. This is disgusting. Bam Catraz literally being thrown to the lambs here. Thrown to the slaughter. And this could be it. Bam Catraz at the mercy of the Heretic Society. It doesn't look good for this young man. The Heretic now going up top. We could see the 666. This could be it. Can the Heretic nail it? Oh my God, he nails it. Bam Catraz taken up and down in the Heretic Society. In the Heretic, the 666 by the Heretic Red Vinny. What a devastating move. And what are we going to see here? Oh my God! The Canadian Destroyer by Forbes Kelly. What else does this man? And the teardrop. Come on. Come on, ref. Do something about this.
Where are you, Bruiser?
First the 666 by the Heretic. The Canadian Destroyer. And look at this. Oh my God, another unbelievable tandem offensive maneuver. This should be it too. And they get it. Mercifully, this match is over.
Here are your winners, the Heretic Red Vinny, Forbes Kelly, the Heretic Society.
Finally, the Heretic Society mercifully polish off Bam Catraz with the Vanadil driver, that tandem offensive maneuver that they used at the end of that matchup. The devastating Vanadil driver, and now the Heretic has something to say.
Another chapter in the book of Revelations that is the legacy that I hold has just been finished. Just like I ended the Irish Dragon's career. Next in line, I'm going to end yours, Catraz. That is what he called me, the Heretic.
The Heretic Red Vinny making his intentions known to Bam Catraz. He's out to end the career of the young man, and he almost did it tonight. What a
This has been a great night of action here on Whiplash TV. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in. Obviously, all is not well within the camp of the Ballymun Bruiser and Bam Catraz, as they just lost a great tag team matchup to the Heretic Society, Red Vinny and Forbes Kelly. Next week, here on the programme, George McFly, in his first singles outing since breaking up with Bam Catraz as part of the Party Animals, will be taking on Forbes Kelly from the Heretic Society. And also, in a rematch from Scotland this past March in BCW, SOS, Seamus O'Shaughnessy, will be going up one-on-one against the flawless one, Jay Phoenix. There certainly is a score to be settled in this one. Tune in next week for all this great action and more, right here on Whiplash TV on the Wrestling Channel.